took the busted windshield off. We tried test fitting a good windshield. I don't know if I'm gonna put a windshield on it back off on it or not. Now I'm trying to get the hood brackets bent. See how bad this hood's mangled. It's touching stuff under the hood, so I'm trying to bend the bracket so I can take the hood off and try to bend the hood back out. Well, got the hood off, and we're trying to straighten it out. I got this nice tool for it. I'll show you. Got the rear hoop unhooked on this side. See how bad it was bent on the top. I think we're just gonna run this with just the cage and no windshield. Don't have nothing to tear up then. Hood looks a little better. Got some more straightening to do, but it's not completely caved in anymore. Just got the rear hoop off. My wife's gonna jump on it apparently. See how much of a dent we took out of the hood. I don't know how we'll get this out of the fender. We'll have to figure out some way to pull it up. Weld a plate on it, and cherry picker or something later. But the hood looks much better. Same thing on this side. Look at the front corner, looks nice. This right here was flat on this. See how bad the cow's crushed. A little bit of progress. You can see the roll cage pressed down into the fender. Over there, I just used this farm jack to pull it up. I'm gonna see if I can do it again on this side. I can't figure. Okay, see my setup. High lift is going to the cage, the hoop. I got something to spread out the load against the floor. I'm gonna watch, see if this pulls up. That's all it took. You heard it pop. That's perfect on this side. pulling the hoop up straightened out this fender quite a bit too. One day working on it. We got all the bent, broken pieces that we can taken off the body. I don't know that we'll put any of it back on. The hood's much better. It's not down on top of the engine anymore. I'll have to address the body and fenders some more, but we're going to work on the front axle, getting the brakes and steering all connected now. On jack stands. Learning some stuff. So I unbolted the factory, I don't know what you call this piece. It's what locates the knuckle here. Replaced it with the high steer arm. The high steer arm has these brackets that connect to the brakes. And so this brake assembly, instead of using bolts to hold the brake on, has studs. And they will go in here and then further strengthen by clamping the steering high steer arm to the knuckle assembly. So I've got to figure out the order of assembly of how the brakes and stuff go for this, but we should have everything we need to have high steer on this with the lift. And all this come with this Facebook Marketplace buy. Pretty happy with my purchase. A lot of good parts already with it. If you don't have a high lift, use blocks of wood and plywood. Works just fine. Use what you got. Don't need an off-road jack. This is a different axle than what was in here before, but you see the spacer, the flip, the springs normally go on the bottom, and this adapter gives you a lift and puts the springs on top of the axle. But previous owner had welded some plates on here, and these U-bolts were not connected correctly, so for us to move it, we just done a quick job. But now I've ground this down so the U-bolts will fit. These are the factory plates. You have to put them on upside down and backwards to get the U-bolts to go in those as well. So I've got to figure out where the shock's supposed to mount, because the shock mount is on the inside of the frame instead of the outside. All right, we've got the spring perch and the spacer, all that's fixed. All the U-bolts are on. High steer arm's bolted on. Also the brake caliper, still a used brake pad. Got this all together. It still steers. I'm missing washers and carter pins and all that kind of stuff, but it's bolted together. It still turns. We'll put the wheel on it and then do the other side. I got that cap off. Getting ready to put the high steer arm on this side. Gardner hooked up the drive shaft. I'm still working on the brakes, trying to find some nuts to work. I'm probably gonna put a castle nut on it off the steering. I unhooked the top high steer arm because it was the wrong length, and I've hooked up the original steering arm. On the bottom, I'll swap that out later once I can make some adjustments on that. But we're getting close. Shocks don't have lower mounts. I need to see what's on the old axle to know how that's supposed to work. This was a kit that was already on it. We're going to work on the ignition and start messing with the motor. Just to remind myself, I use a castle nut off of the upper tie rod for the leaf spring and for brake caliper and high steer arm bolt. I don't have those. I need to get some better nuts for that. But that's what I had. That's what I use. Is fuel pump on? Okay, crank it over. Try it again.
I just fried it.